Time is persistent. While we work to build our lives, our families, our careers, and our businesses, time just keeps ticking along, with or without us, without a care about our plans. Over the past 25 years since I graduated from college, I've worked hard to build a good life, but rarely took the time to actually live life. First, we had a career with limited time off, and vacations were usually just 2 or 3 day long weekends. Most of those we spent working on the house or doing other things, but not traveling and seeing the things we always said we would see. Then I started a business. We moved to another state, restarted that business, and then started another business. All the while saying, someday I'll travel more, someday we'll go run the Rubicon, someday we'll make it to Moab, someday I'll have time. Well, as the song says, someday never comes. And while we're doing all these things, time just keeps ticking away. I started Trailtec 4x4 in my garage, building rock crawlers and doing metal fab work. And after years of hard work and a bit of change in direction, we had actually grown into a well-established Overland shop. 2 years ago, as things were really picking up in the shop, I found myself once again all alone, without employees and no new prospects. I was back to doing all the work of several people again, but on a much larger scale than when I started out. At the end of last year, I had finally completely burned out. I really didn't care if the company continued on. I wasn't enjoying much of anything about the work or life in general, because even when I wasn't at work, I was thinking about work, or more accurately, worrying about work. Did I return all the sales calls? Did I order all the parts? Did I finish torquing all the bolts after I was interrupted by the phone or stopped to talk to someone who just walked in the shop? That's when my wife and I decided it was time. It was time to take a step back and reset. I still had 6 months left on the lease for the building at that point, so there was time to start working on an exit plan. Started working on a new shop on my property, so I could at least have a place to work on my own vehicles that no longer fit in my actual garage, and possibly a place to restart things on a smaller scale in the future. This, of course, consumed all of my time between working at the shop and building the new one, but at least there was a light at the end of the tunnel. After 6 long months of work, it's now early July. The last piece of equipment has been removed from the shop, and the keys have been handed over. Now, I have a giant pile of tools, parts, and equipment filling up my new shop, so I'm not completely sure where it's all going to go, or when I'll actually be able to do any work in there, but I do have time to figure it out. With all that behind me now, I'm going to take some time off and finally get back into the mountains again to explore and just enjoy being there. This trip, though it was short, is just the first step and a much needed break from it all. From here, I hope to continue exploring more of the East Coast and make some time to finally venture out west. I'll keep the cameras rolling as we go, so follow along in the new adventures with us. This isn't the end, it's just the beginning. Thanks for watching.